Hello friends, welcome to this special episode of Dia de Muertos, Day of the Dead, and Halloween. Throughout the history of art, there have been works that have captivated us for their nature, for their aesthetics, for their beauty, but also for being unique, and in several cases, for being mysterious, intriguing, and even terrifying. I remember that when I was a girl of about 5 or 6 years old, at my grandparents' house, I saw in a magazine a picture of a work of art that is commonly known as Hellmouth, taken from the Book of Hours by Catherine of Cleves. Obviously, I was impressed. I remember seeing the colorful medieval monster in the center of the image, with its jaws wide open, slowly engulfing a group of chained humans who were being forced to go forward by a group of demons of different colors and shapes using pitchforks. It scared me, but at the same time, I couldn't stop seeing the image. I was thinking, who are these people? What did they do to deserve such torment? And if I misbehave, are the demons going to take me to the mouth of the beast? Well, you can probably imagine that for that reason, the image was tattooed in my memory. Do you remember any work of art like this that caused you curiosity, anxiety, or even horror? Today, I want to share with you some artworks with motifs of Day of the Dead and Halloween. Works that have a sense of mystery, which have caused not only my curiosity, but that of many people. I hope you enjoy it. Graciela Iturbide, Procession, Chalma, 1984. I begin with Graciela Iturbide's photograph, Peregrinación or Procession. This photograph shows a group of disguised people walking in a procession. 3 people stand out in the image. 2 people wearing masks that portray women's faces, hugging a person in the center who is dressed as a skeleton. Behind them, a larger crowd of characters in costumes walk along, a person wearing a vampire mask, a monster, and some other people walking very close together in this very particular procession. Born in Mexico in 1942, Graciela Iturbide is one of the most recognized photographers in this country. She has also gained worldwide recognition and was an assistant to Manuel Álvarez Bravo, met Henry Cartier-Bresson, and counts Tina Modotti as her influence. Her work consists in documenting the coexistence of ancient rituals and contemporary adaptations, and also places her special interest in women from many places, but particularly from Juchitán, Oaxaca, and their matriarchal roles in society. I invite you to see the photograph Procession, Peregrinación, and give it your own interpretation in the link that I always leave in the podcast comments. Diane Arbus, Identical Twins. This photo, taken by photographer Diane Arbus in Roselle, New Jersey in 1967, is considered fascinating, mysterious, and even sinister. If you're a fan of Stanley Kubrick and his movie The Shining, you probably know that this photograph of Arbus is said to be the one that inspired the creepy twins who appear in the hotel. If we look at the twins in the photograph, however, we will see 2 very real girls around the age of 7, looking directly at the camera, almost in the same body position, dressed in a pair of dark dresses and wearing identical black laces in their hair. One of them looks very serious, while the other outlines a slight smile, and both look intently at the viewer. Arbus's photography consists mainly in capturing interesting characters of society, not the famous ones, but the eccentric, the casual, the ones who don't necessarily fit in. I invite you to search more about her work. Louis Bourgeois, MoMA, 1999. Imagine a gigantic spider, almost 33 feet wide and 30 feet high. Its long legs support the body that has a sack of 17 eggs, visible if you walk under it. But breathe easy. Such a creature is a sculpture made of steel and marble by the artist Louis Bourgeois. The work is called Mummy, translated from the French MoMA, since a central theme that Bourgeois worked on was the processes of emotional development in relation to motherhood. An edition of 6 bronze models was created after the original steel version, this one made for the Tate Museum in London, that commissioned the artist to make this particular vision come true in the year 2000. The other models are found in different places around the world. The title may sound contradictory, however, the dynamics of contradictions in Bourgeois' work is constant. In this regard, she said, "The friend, the spider. Why the spider? Because my best friend was my mother, and she was deliberate, intelligent, patient, reassuring, reasonable, delicate, subtle, indispensable, neat, and as useful as a spider. She could also defend herself and me by refusing to answer stupid, inquisitive, and embarrassing personal questions. I will never tire of representing her. I want to eat, sleep, argue, hurt, destroy. Why? My reasons belong exclusively to me." Leonora Carrington, Remedios Varo, and Kathy Horna, The 3 Witches, Las Tres Brujas. In the 1940s, 3 women who came from Europe found refuge in Mexico and became friends. They shared many artistic and esoteric interests, which is why they were called the 3 Witches. You can listen to Remedios Varo's story in episode 8 of this podcast. The 3 artists, Carrington and Varo, who were painters, and Horna, a photographer, would meet in Carrington's studio and discuss their ideas, make art, experiment in the kitchen, invent potions of all kinds, write and study mystical literature. Their works of art are often compared as their artistic styles share a dreamy quality composed of hybrid characters rooted in fantastic scenes. They were attracted to esoteric themes. They loved nature, and their strong connection made them affirm that they were witches, figures of independent and creative thinking capable of manipulating the elements, knowledgeable and empowered women with authority to study certain spiritual metaphysical aspects that they found not only interesting but also relevant to their artwork. Mexican shamans were surely subjects of importance to them, since they based their magical art on the use of herbs and potions for their rituals. Through their art and the exploration of magic, Remedios Varo, Leonora Carrington, and Kathy Horna sought to break reality and routine. And like them, I invite you to break the routine and go and let yourself be bewitched by their magnificent works. Not only their own, but also those of other artists, such as Julia Margaret Cameron and her photographs, Yayoi Kusama and her pumpkins, Hilma af Klint and her abstract and spiritual works, and many, many more. And tell me in the comments if you would be interested in hearing more about each of these artists, or if you have any suggestions on works or artists that have impacted you and who you would like to hear. And let us remember our death, not only on these days, because in remembering them, our dearly departed live, and through art, they transcend. This bilingual podcast was produced by me, Rebeca Navarro. If you like it, subscribe and follow us on your preferred platform. You can also follow me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, or send me an email with all your comments and suggestions at arteinclusivopodcast@gmail.com. Remember that you can wait for a new episode every other week. I am leaving the references on the links below. Thank you for listening, and let's make exclusive art inclusive.